Shmai GTA chums, this is a video rating all the best vehicles in the San Andreas Mercenaries DLC. Obviously, this is the best vehicle, the Raiju. What are they doing shooting me? Come on, mate. The best vehicle, obviously, is the Raiju, but we're not doing flying vehicles. The other plane's cack as well, I not bought that. We're going to do the cars, basically, top 5. Going to rate all of them to see which one is the best. So starting at number 5 is going to be one which has been introduced on day 1, and I'm only rating cars from day 1 because nothing else has been released yet in the drip feed. But number 1 is the Clitique Wagon, which will cost you 1.2 million from Southern San Andreas, much more expensive than the Clitique, which Rockstar have removed from the game entirely. The former car was fast, right? It's pretty fast. You could almost win. Well, in the olden days, you could win muscle car class races. In contrast, this is the slowest muscle car. Customization's okay, I suppose, but it's not brilliant. And the Clique never had kind of great customization, but it was a great car. And now you can't buy it, but you can buy this piece of crap. Therefore, it's number 5. Don't bother with it. Ignore it. Vulton L35 or the Chevy, was it C10? This is a nice little off-roader, the first of the off-roaders and the slowest off-roader in this DLC. It does have some nice customization. All those lights work. It can ford water, it just can't ford deep water. But it is a good little car, and for 1.7 million, that's not a bad price. It's worth considering. But in the off-roads class, you won't win any off-road races with it. Therefore, for performance-wise and for off-roading, I wouldn't buy that as a sole reason. And similarly, the Monstrosity I wouldn't buy for the similar off-road reason. However, if you have access to HSW, this is now the fastest off-roader in the game with HSW. It's ridiculously fast. It's even faster than most of the sports class cars, I think Bruffy was saying. But I don't have HSW. I'm on PC, and that's how I'm rating it. Therefore, it's at number 3. It's a decent enough off-roader. It will ford deep water because it's fast enough. But if you go too slow through the deep water, that snorkel does not work. None of the snorkels work. Don't you worry about that. But the other thing is, as well, is what makes it kind of good is that it's got Imani tech. However, as you can tell from the door, it doesn't have the full armor, the 100 grand armor on it. So you can't add armor, but it does have the bullet resistant windows. However, once you get in this car, even without this back paneling on, you cannot select any weapon and do any drive-by weapons, can't do any shooting at all. Therefore, as an Imani Tech vehicle, it's only really for running away, and it's not really that quick unless you have the HSW on it for running away. There are far better cars for running away in as well. So yeah, and it's not got the guns which you'd kind of expect with modern Imani Techs anyway. But for 1.5 million, it's quite cheap for what it offers. Good customization, decent enough off-roading. Again, it's not in the super top tier of off-road class for off-roading, unless you have the HSW version. But it is a nice looking car. It's based on, the Pajero, the Mitsubishi Pajero. So for that reason, you might want to buy it because you have a boner for Pajero. Also, off-road wise, it's short wheelbase, which makes it terribly unstable. I tended to do forward rolls down the hill and things like that. So just bear that in mind. It's not as solid an off-roader as other things like the Droga. Next, we have the Stinger. Sorry, let's get it right. The GTO Stinger TT, the far most ridiculous name in the entire DLC. It's a grotty. What is it? A Roma. It's a Ferrari Roma, I think it's supposed to be. And it's Imani Tech. It's also HSW. It's the fastest sports class HSW in the game, according to Bruffy. I can't do HSW, therefore it's meaningless to me. But it is the most expensive sports car, and I think it's the most expensive car in the game once you had the HSW, because that's 1 and a bit million. It costs 2.3 million from Legendary, therefore 3.8 or 3.9 million with HSW. Then you got the Imani Tech gubbins on top of that. So if it's HSW, it might be worth it to you. But if it's not HSW, it really isn't. It doesn't offer anything super special. And I prefer for rear-wheel drive cars. There's the Stinger. I prefer the Anis 300R for 2 million. 400 grand, well, 300 grand cheaper. And I think it's better. I just think it's better performance-wise. It seems to have a bit more grip. I just like it more. Both of them do not have bullet-resistant windows. Both of them have similar levels of armor, and I think they both have mines as well. So yeah, it's worth considering if you like that style of car. But there's far better cars, unless you have HSW, of course. Next, this is number 1. The Vapid Ratel, 1.8 million. Some think it's expensive, but it really is the going rate for off-roaders these days. And it's second to the Drauga by far. The Drauga's a better off-roader in every way. Drauga's a similar price. Similar kinds of customization on the Drauga, so the Drauga is better in every way. But you might like the look of it. You might want something a bit different, a bit like the Drauga in many ways. It's got the longer wheelbase, which makes it more stable off-road. It looks good as well. If you like this style and the customization to it, it has some okay customization. With all these off-roaders as well, all the lights actually work, so they're worth it for that reason. So very nice car and worth considering. But would I honestly buy this if I was selling any of these cars to myself? I would say no. I don't think any of them offer anything that's amazeballs, and because I do not have HSW, none of them are top tier. But if I was going to buy one out of all of them, if it was HSW, it'd be the Monstrosity. Otherwise, it's got a bit of Rattel, and maybe I'm holding on to the Monstrosity in the hope that in the future we will get HSW on PC at some point, which will never happen, obviously. But you've got to hope. You've got to hope. Um, at some point. Remember the days when you used to have decent cars in? This wasn't a brilliant car, but it does seem excellent compared to these lot these days. The Trans Am, the WS6, nice. So hopefully we'll have some better cars on the way. I'm looking forward to the Renault 5 Electric. That's my favourite looking car and one I've been watching on YouTube as a car, as a real car in real life. And we also have the electric Challenger or Charger, one that I don't know a lot about at all in real life and haven't really watched many videos about. But it's the second one I'm looking forward to. But they're both electric, so they might be terrible. But there are more cars coming out. There's some bicycles as well. Who knows when they'll be coming out? Maybe this week, maybe next. At some point, maybe I'll do a video rating all of them. But it depends if I buy them all. Honestly, could be the first DLC in a while where I don't buy every car because I'm getting quite sick of Rockstar's behaviour, removing cars and adding cars in the drip feed, and it's just dirty tactics. And I'm not sure I want to play a game like that, but I will play a game like because I like GTA. I think it's a great game. But in the future, will there be GTA 6 for me? I don't know. Maybe I'll change the name of my whole bloody channel here. Maybe the channel will just die, because just purely because of Rockstar's dirty tactics of selling shark cards, etc. Anyway, that's annoying. That's a whole nother rant. I'm not going to do a rant video about that. I'm frustrated by it, as are many in the car loving community. If you've got any points on these cars that you want to add to it, then please add them down below. Like if you know how to change the registration plate on the Monstrosity, let me know below because I couldn't find the option at all. Ridiculous, I know. Have you changed yours? Don't know why. That's a thing, but again, it's half-arsed like everything Rockstar. There's got to be something that's half-arsed. Even with less cars, they still do it half-arsed. Drop your comments below. Any thoughts on these cars? What about the HSW performance? Do you think they're good cars? Do you think there's any that you are outstanding that you've bought and you think are the best in the game? For example, I want to hear your thoughts down below. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a most excellent day out there and be excellent to each other. Thank you.